It's time for Dents and Dreams, a paintless dent repair podcast focusing on how you can use the fruits of this wonderful trade we call PDR to achieve your wildest dreams. I'm John Bideen, your friendly neighborhood dent reaper and host of Dents and Dreams. Now, let's get started.
Let's get started indeed. Oh, yeah. We got a banger. Of course, Cliff Ramadan in the house. But look at this. Chris White and Kevin Andrews all in one square. I mean,
yeah,
it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I've learned how to play Hollywood squares with this a little bit so we can get you guys in there. Bam. The stars of the show, as it were. What's going on? How did you get Kevin all the way from jolly old England to, I'm assuming you're in OKC.
we are. Kev, how'd you make it in?
On a plane?
I
I thought the plane would be safer.
He only comes as far as Dallas on the plane, though. He has to drive a good part of the way. So he flies to Dallas, rents a car, and drives the rest of the way to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, if I could
Yeah,
drive
what is that?
a bridge,
That's 2-3 hour drive?
About a 5 hour drive from Dallas to OKC?
about 3 hours.
Three, yeah. I've done it before. So you didn't just fly into town and your arms are tired?
No,
Super duper. So I'm assuming you're in town for MTE.
sure am.
Super excited. Or is it possible you flew into town that's a terrible view. Just so you could come on Dents and Dreams and talk about the new Blue Reaper tabs? Is that why you flew into town?
That's exactly it. Exactly. I thought we were keeping it hush hush. So, yeah, that's the real reason.
Oh, snap. Well,
And
we're
that's
glad you're here.
Yeah, well, I was. Everybody should be very excited to know that to have Kev here with Blue Reapers is perfect because he and Danny is Mr. Ice, Kev's Mr. Blue, and they're forever fighting over ice and blue. So it's absolutely perfectly appropriate. Couldn't be planned any better than to have Kev here to talk about Blue Reapers.
I think you have to have both. They have a different pull. If I'm soft pulling, I love the dark blues. They're one of my favorite, my go-to on a soft pull.
Yeah, they've got that nice flexibility about them. They're controlled.
Yeah, you gotta love the flex. So Ricky's saying, let's see the tabs. Tabs are tricky to show on a podcast like this because lighting is tough.
I'm catching it.
But it's the same edge flex design with the hexagonal stem and head and face all the way through, and just in this flexible blue nylon material.
What sizes are those ones coming in, John? I got to get some at MTE, so I'm.
Yeah. I just got mine yesterday, guys.
Yep.
So this is freshy. I mean, it still smells like Oklahoma. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, so just got them yesterday, and the sizes, Cliff, are 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16 millimeters. So you got
Same as the OG purple set.
Yep, exactly. So you got the tiny 8 all the way up to 16. And then, of course, everything in between. There's a 10. Yeah, I mean,
love it. I can't wait to use them.
Yeah.
And I still got hail here, so once we get back from MTE, I'll be picking up some of those, and I can't wait to use them on hail.
No doubt. No doubt. Man, we got all kinds of people coming in. I'm surprised. We got Nick Van Hook of Dent Vision Tools.
Nick Breeze.
Nick Breeze from the Smash
Dent
Masters.
Vision.
We had Stefan in here earlier. Michael Kelly, what up, what up? And, of course, the king of the vest.
Yes, we are vested.
What's up, Matt?
This show has been vested by Matt Moore. How you
And
doing?
I'm just wearing my old shitty Dent Reaper sweatshirt here. That's like,
So close, so close. We'll get you a vest one of these days.
I think I have a gray duck vest. I do actually have that when I worked with you for the first time. Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, clearly he's talking about me and Cliff. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
or maybe
take
he's
that-
talking
we'll
about
take
me and
that
Chris
one.
because we have vests.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? We'll leave it a mystery.
I'll take any compliment I can get. I'm at that point in life.
Yeah. So, Kev, how did you get the nickname Mr. Blue from Chris? Were you guys watching Reservoir Dogs?
Mr.
Or
Blue and Mr. White. So I don't know. I mean, blue nylon was the material. I've been putting 25 years. We started off with the Worth tabs, and the next one was the original dimpled blue Kiko tabs.
Right.
And we didn't have much available to us, so we just perfected the pull. And then I remember when the ice tab came out, it was solders and everyone loved it. But I just got so used to the blue. It's just what I stuck with. And you've almost kind of seen it go full circle, haven't we?
Mhm.
It's gone.
yeah,
Everything went to ice, and now it's all starting to come back around to the blue again. And I think with the processes involved, we're getting. I would say it's a lot easier to get a better result from an ice tab. It's a little bit more tricky with the blue material, and as a start out, once you've got your glue ball dialed in, blue just works really well for me. I love it on dare I say aluminium, aluminum.
we've got our first aluminium who had 7 minutes 53 seconds. We have a winner.
That was done purely because you have a UK watch with Michael Kelly, so that was for him. I just found it works. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll flick to ice when needs arise, but blue's just my go-to.
Yeah. Whenever the ice first came out, it was I gravitated toward it immediately, and it is a different pull. So I feel like I really gravitated toward it. But then I think really the further I got into Big Smash is when I really started understanding the differences, especially with the centipede tabs. That was the first for me because I really love the blue nylon centipedes on Big Smash stuff because you can form it into that dent so much easier and get that tab where it needs to be, and you just get a better hookup for those scenarios. But yeah, and then
That's 100% right, John. And the fact is, if with a load cell, when you're pulling straight up, you get about 20 on the same tab, same design. You get about 20-25% more pull strength out of the ice than you do the blue per our testing. But it doesn't flex. So any kind of side action, any kind of a side pull, which you're mostly going to see that manifest itself on those centipedes in those big damages. That's why we honestly don't even put the ice centipedes in any of the systems anymore, because once you start pulling side action on them, they are half as strong as the blue nylon, right? So same thing will hold true when it comes to the smaller tabs and the hail tabs. Is that, you know, you can get some pretty complex, gnarly shapes, you know, from hail, right? And so and you're also going to be pulling on some strange curves. So the more you know are in situations to where you're not going to be pulling straight, the more likely you are to want to use the blue material versus the ice, because that blue just plays twister and stays stuck and pulls the dent. Furthermore, you know, I think that, you know, you with ice, because even on a straight pull, you know, you tend to overpull many times, and then when you overpull, you're just creating work for yourself. You've got to go knock that back down. So I just, you know, I'm with Kev. There's just a lot of good need and opportunity, you know, for the blue nylon, you know, over the ice. But yet, you know, ice has its place. Sometimes you just really need to shock it, like on a high strength steel or something like that, right? So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I've noticed I like if you have that hail, that jagged hail where it's got that sharp pit in the middle, I'll start it with a smaller ice tab to try and get that center moving. And then you go to, I have one of the bigger blues, dark blues. And then it just builds up. You know, once you get that center going, that builds up that nice mound, and you can just transition and blend it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's couldn't agree more. And yeah, I mean, I'm very stoked to try these, and I mean, more and more of these vehicles are going all aluminum, and I think this blue really shines on the aluminum as well. So it's going to be, or I'm sorry, Kev, how dare I? Aluminium. But yeah, stoked to have them. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Somebody asked me one day, like, why don't you have this material? And I was like, I don't know what is wrong with me. I have Chris's number. We can figure this out.
That was me, John. I've said it for how long? Because I love the dark blues. Right here.
Yep.
I was one of them.
A lot of people have asked me about it, and it just never came to be. I think we talked about it a couple times, and then finally got her done here today. So here we are. Oh, here we go. Aluminum is James Bernard in the house. Chris Worrell. Hey, Chris, great job on those videos, man.
Love the video. He's a good guy.
Yeah. And I should give a shout out to Nick Priest and Stefan Eschi too. I've been running a contest for videos, and all these guys have killed it. If just look up hashtag Dent Reaper contest on Instagram or Facebook if you guys want to see more about it. But we're giving away a bunch of prizes at MTE, and you might, in those prizes, you might see some packs like this, guys. So we'll see what's what. But there's all kinds of cool stuff coming. But yeah, just gotta give those guys a shout out. It's some hilarious stuff. So check it out.
And they've all been good. There's been some good tutorial videos that weren't on the funny side, and great tutorial videos from guys. I mean, all of them are just awesome.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of tutorials, Josh Dragos gave a great tutorial on how to make an old fashioned. So,
yes, that was one of my favorites.
Yes. The key to this PDR thing, guys, is never stop learning. So I go check out Josh's video, and you can get his take on an old fashioned. It's a pretty classic take, but important nonetheless.
You know, you were joking, of course, right then, but honestly, we've been elevating our training game over the last number of years. We're going to continue to elevate our training game, as we go into continuing to train collision shops in using glue pull repair. getting it flatter and flatter, getting using lateral tension to unlock and all those things. And like, I will say that my experience with at least those that come to MTE and those that are active online, I think it is true that PDR guys are lifetime learners. I think they really do want to learn, right? You know, and
definitely.
And if you can be a lifetime learner like that, you can continue to hone your craft. You can continue to get better and better and better. And you know, there's so much you know, that can be gained from an ongoing attitude of training and instruction. And you know, that what we were talking about internally, and it's the only place really in the world of business and life that has figured that out is sports. You know, all the professional athletes of all levels spend, you know, 10, 15, 20% of their incomes on continued training, you know, education, instruction, all those kind of things through their whole career, right? You know,
yeah.
And I think that generally speaking, PDR guys, you know, our two markets are generally speaking, PDR guys are more willing to continue to invest in their craft than body guys. You know, it's just, that's my personal opinion. It's anecdotal and it may not be, you know, completely concrete, but that's how you know, that's my observation. So.
And I would say, and I agree with you 100%, because PDR is more of an art form. You have nothing to fall back on. What you see is what you get. Where with body work, you can get into that mode where you're doing it the quickest way possible. You're on commission. You're going through the steps, and it's this point to this point where PDR is so much more of an art. And you see jobs like Bryce Kelly. You see jobs like these guys that are doing it. You know, Kaz. You know, we lost him this year. He was my trainer. 70 years old, 50 plus years in the industry. And he was continuing, you know, constantly evolving. He didn't stop.
Yeah. And
second you stop thinking that you don't need, or start thinking you don't need training, that's when you hit the wall and just, and you know, it's like we're going back to the different tabs there. You know, we do get set in our ways. You know, materials are changing all the time. You know, I had a break from actually pushing, and I went and got a Honda Civic, came into the shop, and I started working on that, and it was the high strength steel. Now, I'd never pushed high strength steel. In my head, the Hondas of old were all soft, you know, real pliable metal. And next thing, I'm cranking on this. I'm thinking, what? The Honda? This should be like falling out. But it fought me the whole way. So, you know, although I say, you know, I love the blue material, it's going to be my go-to until it doesn't work. And then I'm going to go looking for, you know, the next product that does. You know, you don't just say, oh, that's it, it can't be done. And I think that's where the likes of, you know, the likes of Bryce and, you know, the guys out there, and a lot of the collision guys as well that are opening, you know, PDR guys' eyes to, oh, if I just did that and that and that horrible dent that I would normally have not tackled, I could probably take that on, because I definitely know where he left off. I could fix it, and there was nothing in there that was crazy that I couldn't do myself. It's just that self-belief. You know, getting that, and that's what's great about a lot of these online, you know, tutorials and just watching videos. It gives people the belief that it is possible.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And you know, in the body shop, you know, you go from having to cut a quarter panel off, cut a back window out, and do all that stuff, and all of a sudden now with glue, you can get it formed. You might have to do maybe a skim coat. You might have to do some primer or whatever, but you're taking that panel that most of the time would have been cut off and thrown in the garbage, which is a lot of work, and you're saving the actual structure, the cosmetic structure of the car.
Yeah, it's and you know, with the ADAS that's on vehicles now, the typical damage that would have created necessitated a new boot floor. Or would it be a boot floor? Trunk floor? Trunk floor.
Yep.
Would have had a trunk floor repair is now just a back panel. The vehicle damage that would have had a back panel is now just a bumper cover. So the damage is coming more into our our realms of repair. So that it's never been a better time. And I hear time and time again, oh, the market's flooded. It always, in a small village, how many plasterers and electricians are there?
Exactly. And I live in a small village.
There's a lot more cars than there is houses. So, it's just setting your stall up and actually, going out there and grab this work. And, I've always been, in my career, I've always been the person that's liked to have a go at, I've liked to challenge myself. I would much rather sit on one vehicle for half to 3/4 of a day, and get a good return on money than I would going from place to place to place to place and having all the emergencies and, all the problems that go with that, the traffic, windshield time. But it's horses for courses. People set their stall up but don't fear. Keep looking. My son's just started his own business, and he's always been used to trade, and it's like, well, what direction am I going to go in now? And I said, mix it up. Don't just stick with what you know. Have a go at the other side. If you don't like it, always come back. If you do like it, it may be the one you want to go and follow more and more.
Yeah, so Well, there's positives on both sides. I mean, the freedom that comes with being a mobile guy. I'm not chained to operating hours or anything of that. I mean, my storefront is my phone, and my van, and it is, it's wherever I am, and
when I worked with you, John, we didn't have operating hours.
Yeah, they're flexible. We'll call them
like the blue tabs. They're flexible.
They're a lot like the nylon material.
Yeah.
Very flexible. So, but I mean, but with that too comes more challenges of figuring out how you're going to set up in different situations, and you don't always have ideal conditions to work in, and I mean, having a shop where you can do that, I can't imagine doing that every day would be, I mean, just so nice to have everything and know where it is at all times, and have perfect working conditions like that will be a beautiful thing. So I've thought about it. But
things like this, the podcast and people talking about it, it will be, when we're out there on the as route techs, you have no one to talk to, so it's a very, it is a lonely world. So, and I think that's what really brings the PDR community together in a big way, and the podcasts and social media connect us even further. It'd be like what we're doing now would be like chatting to the painter and the other body guy in the break room at lunchtime. Just so we're doing on a camera rather than face to face. So it just keeps you fresh, keeps you energized. If you have a low moment, picks you back up. If you have a high moment, you can share it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
John always listened to podcasts. It's like, you don't listen to podcasts when you're working. I always listen to music. I now know, after you follow the earbuds, all that stuff when you're working, because you don't have anybody there. At least if you're listening to a PBR podcast, you're hearing your peers. They're kind of there with you, like you can listen to them as you're working, because you don't have anybody there. You get zoned out. You're locked into what you're doing.
Yep.
Well, speaking of podcasts, make sure you give Ginger Bros a lesson. Andy Patrick in the house. What's up, Andy?
Almost finished with our Reaper contest, hoping it's a winner. Oh, it's going to be a good one.
He usually comes with good stuff on the video. Bro. I'm excited to see that one, Andy. Heck yeah. Love it.
How about Brandon's bed cap tool? My
goodness. I got that right here.
I was like,
Speaking
brother,
of the Ginger Bros.
I was like, brother, you have no idea. That's not how this is supposed to work. Like, you don't like sell out of your first batch of inventory in a day. Like,
are you gonna have some of them down at MP? Are you gonna be able to have some of them?
I don't. We may have a handful, but like we've got 1,000 of them coming in soon. But we won't have many. So yeah.
Yeah. So if you want one of these, don't walk, run to the Kiko booth. And,
I will be going there. That will be my first stop. Blue hex nylon tabs and that tool for sure. And I'm sure I will venture back there because all that lateral tension, that Danny, those tab straps, all that stuff. I will be going back there. That is definitely needed. I do everything here, so I actually got to do a big job once I get back from MP. I got to save a couple doors for an aluminum Ford F-150 for a body shop.
Awesome.
So that'll be.
It's a nice year this year. There's so many new, and not just the big stuff. You go right down into the smaller tools and consumables. There's loads of new stuff come out. We've actually changed the booth up a little bit, and we're hoping to have like a new product area. So if anyone's, what's new? It's all on that wall. You can go and pick and choose. But there's some great stuff. It's really is a good year.
Yeah, you gotta love it. Yeah.
I'm trying to double check whether we actually, did keep a few back, just to have a few at MTE, and maybe if we did keep a few, I think the deal will be, Cliff, that if you spend $1,000 on other stuff, you get to buy a bed cap.
Fine, take my money, take it now. I'm pretty sure I can find $1,000 in Kiko stuff that I can use every day.
Well, I mean, what do they charge you for one of those bed caps? You break one clip and you're paying whatever, $150, $200 for some of those bed caps.
Yeah, we're not.
So,
yeah. That's
worth it. Hell of a deal. Yeah, maybe
raise
the price. $35.
I never take bed caps off unless I absolutely have to, because you're gonna break them, and I'll just glue pull. I'll go through the tail light, do what I can do, and then I'll glue pull, because I hate breaking those things. Have to order them. Now that job is sitting in limbo.
Yeah, that's the worst.
And it's so much nicer when you do pull them off and be able to get down there on tools on Dents. It's so much nicer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I got the word direct from the Chief Operating Officer, Mr.
00 Staten.
Yes.
Daddy Hacker's in the house.
Yep. And I think we will have 30 of them available at MTE. So
sounds right. I think Kevin and Danny were on with Shuddy and Alex on the Dead Digest, and I thought that's what they said, but
yeah,
I didn't want to speak out of class.
Yeah, like a black market of bed cap tools going, exchanging.
Yeah, I wonder. Maybe I should bring this thing. I could make a quick double up if I just be patient.
Well, you got 5,000 people and 30 of them to go. Your odds aren't real good if you don't get there.
I don't know what that supply and demand curve looks like, but I'd say it's in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love it. Oh man. So yeah, I mean, we got all that. I'm just super excited for MT as a whole. I mean, obviously these blue tabs are something that we've been waiting for a while, and excited to have these. But man, MTE is every year just gets bigger and better. And I don't know. I don't know how to explain the excitement, but
I'm so happy to get down there again this year.
Yeah,
I missed last year.
When you guys coming in?
I get in Wednesday evening, so I gotta go check in and do all that. And I'm hoping I can make it down before the welcome party ends, but we will see. We will see.
I get in Thursday early afternoon, right around 2, I think, is when we fly in. So Uber to the Airbnb and then head over to the venue.
Nice.
Yeah. You're gonna be in time. I want to see the shop owners roundtable. I think that they're for Education Day. I don't know if you signed up for Education Day or not, Cliff, but yeah, I mean, there's.
I don't know. That's Thursday,
ton of
right?
good classes, but that one, yeah, that's Thursday. Yep.
Danny,
Yeah, I don't know. By the time I get there, it'll probably be over.
Yeah. Danny and Kev are doing a class as well. So.
Oh, what day and time is that? Do you know?
Well, I mean, it's Thursday. I don't know what time, honestly, but yeah, it's.
I'm just going to be the eye candy.
Yeah.
Eye candy. You can't be eye candy with 25 years of experience, Kev. I mean, you can be. Don't take that the wrong way.
And my pasty white complexion.
Not really. Hey, as the used car salesman, I always say there's an ass for every seat, and there's a woman for every. I found a beautiful bride. I don't know what happened. If she's got eye problems or what, but
just waiting for
everybody does good. So I'm trying to look it up on the.
Well, I finally got married, and so I get to bring my wife down to this too now.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Everybody gets to meet Beth Dutton, as I call her, from time to time. She's good stuff. Good stuff. Everybody, welcome Beth in with open arms. Otherwise, we might never see Cliff again. So,
no, she's good. She's a very big part of. She supports my work, and she's a very big part of it, especially this year with us having hail. She takes care of everything on the back end, makes sure that I remember everything, which I don't remember shit half the time.
Yeah, that's Sally's control of the calendar and knowledge of the calendar is unbelievable. Michael Kelly's got a birthday.
She got a little taste of the booth stuff in Japan there. She's kind of all gung-ho on TBR now.
Yeah. Once Sally got to work the booth in Japan, and yeah, she definitely enjoyed it. Let's see here. Education Day. Trying to see. If I can find Kevin and Danny. We got to make sure Kevin knows where to go for Education Day.
Yeah, exactly. This is wah.
Locations as I'm trying to find the room.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. We got. I see Gene Fetty, the Glue going at 11. Alex, Ray, Chris White, and Danny Hacker. It says here, Chris. From 2 to 2:45, unlocking repairability.
That's right. Yes.
And that's on Thursday.
I'm retired, so yeah.
Thursday at 2.
Yeah,
Thursday at 2.
I fly in too late. I'm going to miss that one because I fly in at 2. So I'm not going to be able to make any of the education ones by the time we get to the Airbnb, and I'm going to miss all that.
Yeah, and we were just talking about how we value education, Cliff, and how we're lifetime learners.
7 P's, Cliff.
Well,
seven
much.
P's.
Buy a
Come on,
book,
buddy.
Yeah,
Prior
we're
proper
also
planning
flying out at 8
prevents
o'clock
discourse.
on Sunday morning, and John lit me up about that. He's like, Cliff, you've been here before. You don't fly out at 8 o'clock Sunday morning after the show.
Yes.
What's wrong with you?
That is. You gotta properly plan for that. So yeah, I'm loving this.
My wife is a teacher, so I gotta go.
Yeah. Let the children learn. Let Cliff learn. I don't know. We'll let you slide, Cliff. But I'm going to be learning unlocking repairability at 2, and then that goes till 2:45, and then at 3 you got the shop owners roundtable. So
We go from one to the other.
yeah, bingo, bango. Should be a good couple hours. Learn some stuff. Well, Chris, if you're doing your dent at 1, that's probably on Friday at 1.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah,
The setup day is Thursday and education day. Yep. So you'll be good, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, it's his birthday too. His birthday's on the 28th. So
and my birthday, we're actually celebrating my daughter's birthday tonight. They're all coming over and we're celebrating it. Her birthday's the 27th, and that's her 18th birthday. So
nice. Yeah, it's actually my wedding anniversary on the 29th. Sally loves it. Every year we spend our anniversary at MTE. It's very romantic for her. You gotta love it. So, all right. Well, yeah, I'm excited. I'll be attending the class, Kev. So try to use small words.
Aluminium.
Look at my Anglo-American phrase book to make sure I get them all right.
Beautiful. Yeah, do it.
Hey,
So,
John, can you StreamYard me during that class so I can watch too? Because some of us, screwed up. Like
I don't think it's against the rules. A lot of times they will video the entire class anyway.
Well, yeah, and then go to Kiko and watch it.
Yeah.
That would be an option too.
Mm-hmm. I think Kiko does offer. You guys do have some video training courses on your website, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have a lot of educational videos. They're all free of charge. We don't have anything that we charge for online. We do have, of course, training courses in the shop, and then we go to collision shops and train as well. So
yeah. Well, there you go, Cliff. There you go. We'll learn you one way or another.
I need some learning.
Yeah. Well, you never know what it's going to be. One
nugget. People want learning, man. People want learning.
I reckon they do. Well, cool. Yeah,
I was just going to say that, like, I've watched a number of times, and Cliff's always in the same place. And might I say that's a very neatly organized shelf behind you.
Yeah. If I could turn this around, there's a reason why stuff's piled up there. And I got a 9-month-old Belgian Malinois Shepherd Cross. He will literally get in the chair and dig stuff off the shelf, and as far as I can get it. So that's all because of him right over there.
Gotta love it. I wish I could blame my mess on a dog. I'm just scatterbrained.
Someday, now that I'm home, hopefully I get this organized and actually have stuff there.
Yeah, buddy. Well, get on it, Cliff. I think Did we miss anything else? I mean, we got MTE, we got blue tabs, we got tab straps, we got bed cap tools. Did we miss anything? Anything else you want to talk about new coming out for MTE or?
I think we've got a lot of products that may have been overlooked throughout the year. So that's why we tried to have, well, we're going to try and do that sort of collection. So, come along. And the great thing about it, if you've got any questions at all, there's tons of us on the stand. There's nothing we don't know about these products and what's gone into them and all the other iterations that may have come before and how we've perfected it to get to where we've got. So there's going to be demo panels there. We've got the pulling tower on there, so we can demo that and tell everyone all the different features, because there's so many.
There's a lot to learn on that pulling tower. There's so much more to that tower than your standard tower. I mean, I learned that at SEMA, and I was just like, oh, I didn't even know. You got the tiny infinite adjustment screw and the fins to keep it rigid. And there's a lot that goes into that, and it's a very nice tower.
A lot of small details that make up to a really polished finished article. And also there's an easy perception. Like, for argument's sake, the crown holder that comes out, that thing is great if you're pulling the bottom or the top of a door. Audi have those horrible lower swage lines. You get a crunch in there and you're pulling the back end of the door. What that door wants to do is pivot on the latch, and you can actually create more damage by the front hinges. Whereas that holder will stabilize the door, stop the twist, create that box effect, and give you so much more in the way of pull. So, it's little things like that sometimes, we think we understand something, but in actual fact, there's a lot more. Goes behind it, doesn't it? So, come along
and you mess up the A-pillar and damage that where it hinges on. That is a pain in the ass to get that thing to come back around and fit right again and seal up the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, hugely. It's and also for if you're pulling a fender, again it can catch the fender corner, stop it blowing out. It's just so many, and the articulation on the back of the tower that enables you if you want to shuffle that along a couple of inches to get to another part of the panel. Two things typically going to happen. You're going to kick the base along, damaging the seal, damaging your floor, or you're just going to, I'll be all right. I'll just pull slightly off center. And we all know what happens when we pull off center. We start to create problems. So, that articulation is going to give us the ability to get to exactly where we need to be fast.
And that's why a frame rack, when you're pulling a frame in a body shop or something like that, they have multiple towers, because you're never pulling straight out on a front sway. You're pulling, one side's pulling this way at an angle at a 45, and the other one's pulling straight, and you work them back and forth. Because you only want to use so much pounds per square inch to pull.
Yeah, if you pull in a crazy amount of pressure,
you're pulling in the wrong spot.
Yeah, so it's it doesn't, and I think that is something that we that's great about the education. We see some of these pulls happening. We might not see the whole pull, but what we're not seeing necessarily is someone opening in the door, getting in the door shut, and tapping down all that metal to help that movement. It just looks like you put a clamp on there and rip it all out. We all know that's not the case. So that's what's great, about education, continual learning. And coming the great thing about MTE is everyone is happy to talk about the craft.
Yeah.
So, you grab hold of anyone and they'll sit there, and after they've told you they're the best bent guy in the world.
It's nice to see the collision side coming into it, because the crossover where you can talk to people on both sides of it, and they intertwine so much now, especially with the way everything's evolving.
Yeah, I think
So
those bridges are being knocked down in between.
yep.
Between the collision and PDR techs, and we're starting.
Well, especially since COVID, and now you can't get panels. You can't. They're not readily available. Things are on back order. So if you write it for a quarter panel, well, we can come in and fix it, or get the collision system in there from Kiko. Learn the training. So now you're not at the mercy of getting a part. You can still keep that job going. That's a lot of dollars. Every time you're in that bay and you got a car locked up and you can't get a part, how many dollars are you losing having that bay tied up waiting?
Yeah.
Now you have another option to make it right and progress and move on with the job.
So actually one of the guys on, Michael Kelly, popped on earlier. He had an Audi TT RS aluminum rear quarter. That would have been a three-day key-to-key repair. As it happened, and the repair went ahead, but they decided they wanted to put the quarter on, and it was on back order. So the car sat and sat and sat and sat. So we do have the ability to repair these larger pieces, but within the manufacturer specification. We're not doing anything untoward to the panel itself. So just a less invasive and better repair all round.
Oh, definitely. You're not cutting out back glass. You cut every time you start cutting something apart. PDR, if you can implement PDR on any level in a body shop, you're taking away one step of failure. If you don't have to grind it to bare metal, you're taking away that step of failure. When you grind it to bare metal, that's where shrinkage comes in. That's where all that stuff starts to fail. And every step you can take away from that fail point, even if you have to paint it, you're taking away a fail point. And those are the fail points in the collision industry. Grinding to bare metal, using a lot of filler or an extended amount of filler. That's all shrinking points when you get into temperatures and, you got a chemical-based product. In the heat and the cold, it shrinks back and forth. Well, now your sand scratches show up. You got ringing showing up. With PDR, the more you can utilize it, it takes away all those, more fail points.
Yeah, makes sense. I've never been a collision guy. I love talking to, I talk to Cliff all the time, but the more I've talked to guys like Cliff, collision guys, especially the ones that have transitioned into PDR, like I feel like there's such an advantage that you have having done the collision work prior to getting into PDR. That
I see it with training. I've been training for many years now, and I always find collision guys are the hardest to train because it's kind of leave at the door what you think because we're going to go down a different path.
Yeah.
But then ultimately, a year down the line, we're going to go back and open that collision toolbox again and pull out those processes. And I think once we've got over that this is a little bit slower than what I'm used to, eventually it becomes fast, and then you start to employ all those other techniques, and before you know it, you're doing your Bryce Kelly style work, and thinking, how on earth did I get here?
But when you go back, I like that. But when you go back and actually think about it, that mindset of it being slower, it's not, because you're not stopping the process.
Yeah.
If you got to grind and mud or cut that panel off, now you got to weld, you got to seal up your weld. That now you got a day wasted. Where with PDR, you're continually working, so you're not getting that wasted downtime. You're just evolving. You're rolling through it quicker, even if it's a slower process. It's slower, but it's faster in the long run if you consider days.
Yeah, that's it. You need to take into account the start to finish of. You walk into a collision shop that employs GPR. The first station that really wants to go to is the GPR station. It needs to be pulled before we decide what products need to be taken off the car, because all of a sudden we're going to shrink that repair right down. We might not need to blend rear door or the quarter or whatever it might be. So, the belt moldings can stay intact, any badges can stay on there. And these are typically parts that are going to be, the whole car's finished, but we're waiting for a belt molding. And it's on back order for 3 months. It just keeps that, shop moving. And, start to finish, you haven't got to go in there and do your corrosion protection at the end because you've not stud welded. So you've not burnt the backside of the eco. So that, there's a ton of advantages for both PDR, GPR, and the combination repairs that we do on a daily basis.
Man, there's nobody that I don't think I know anybody that hasn't taken a spot weld cutter and you cut a hole through the inner structure. So now you got to move that hole.
Yeah,
you're actually making a non-manufactured hole in the inner structure, the structural part of the vehicle.
Again, one of those failure points that you were talking about earlier. It's just something you're adding another process in there that could go wrong. So yeah, it's there's a huge mindset switch that is taking place. There you go. There's
a lot of the quarters now, they're all unisides. So the insurance companies are only paying for the quarter.
Yeah.
So now you got to cut that uniside. You got to cut it. You got to splice it in where you want. You got the weld. You're not just butting it up and putting everything on there. You're actually creating more work and creating more cuts. You're cutting back glass out. You're cutting all that stuff out. You got to cover the interior. Now you wreck a leather interior, and you're waiting on that. One weld spark falls into that and burns a hole in somebody's Audi interior or BMW or any vehicle, King Ranch, domestic. That's a huge mess up.
Yeah.
You don't have that with glue. You don't have it doing it this way.
Yeah, we can see what we're doing. We're not relying on. I mean, Danny phrases this really well. For years their hands have been lying to us. Now we can see it. You can, you really know what you're dealing with. So all those little imperfections you can get right. Even if the vehicle has to go into paint, you've got that panel as flat as you can possibly get it. And it goes in and gets a top job done.
Yeah, but even if it needs a skim coat of glaze, you don't have to go to bare metal for glaze. A light X scratch with some 240, do a nice soft skim coat, and you're still saving blend time, blend area. You're not grinding it.
Yeah,
it's just a better repair overall anytime you can implement PDR.
Chris is saying those new Navigator and X-Bed quarters, they got the big thick soundproofing on it. Hooray! That is one car. I see an estimate that says Expedition or Navigator. That is my least favorite vehicle to work on. The glue in those roofs, all that stuff. Anyway, sorry to change the subject on you guys like that.
I glue most of my quarter panels. Even the Chevy Suburbans had zero access unless you drilled something.
Yep.
So 90% of the time, I just assume I'm glue pulling if I can on any of those vehicles.
Yep.
Now with the new Blue Reapers, it's going to be even easier.
Gotta love it. Way to tie it all.
Sir.
Look at Kev putting a bow on it. Just
full circle.
Putting a bow on it. All right. Well, I love it.
Now, Chris has got me self-conscious about my rack here. Now I'm looking back there and it's like, God dang it. I'm going to have to move my Reaper flag over and just cover up the mess for a while.
There you go. You don't need to clean it up. Just cover it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. What up, Shuddy? Funny. Oh, it sounds like Andy posted his video. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So, guys, few days we're leaving for MTE. Make sure to say hi to Chris Worrell. I believe it's his first MTE, and it's his
So I talked to him
birthday.
a little bit last night, and he is a super awesome guy getting into the industry, coming from the collision side of it. Just a great guy.
Yeah, I'm excited. Excited to have a beer with you, Chris, and everybody else. It's gonna be a blast, man. It's gonna be a blast.
You're gonna be drinking down there, John?
I'll have a beer or two. I'll have a beer or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want you to get off the wagon.
Yeah,
We need to import the buzz buttons down there, don't we?
What's that?
We need to import the buzz buttons from Vegas.
Oh no! Listen, we still have PDR Expo in Vegas every year.
That's something to look forward to extra.
That's once a year is plenty on the buzz buttons. That's it's an interesting experience. If you guys have never done it, check it. Where's that at? The Cosmo?
Cosmopolitan,
Yeah. Chris and I had one at SEMA. That was.
Oh, you went back.
Oh, I'm still tingling. It hasn't gone away yet.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, great show. I can't wait to see you guys in person at MTE, and I hope everybody travels well and safely, and get down there, learn, and yeah, we'll see you when we get down.
Can't wait to see what the Kiko booth looks like. I'll be happy to see you guys down there.
Awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also, like always, we'll have at KikoTabs.com, we'll have all the same deals that we run at MTE. We'll have those online as well. You know, we at MTE is the only time of the year that we do a really, what I would call a big sale on tabs. You know, once you gross a certain amount, around $300, I think, you get 20% off, and we don't ever do 20% off ever. But we would do that, in person and online, the weekend of MTE. So yeah.
Time to stock up for hail season and collision, boys.
Yep.
Yes,
Perfect time.
The hail is a coming. The hail is a coming. And so is MTE a week away.
About 10 or 12 of the new Kiko hammers in order to do all that hail. So,
wow. I think if a guy just bought every component, then he would have. That'd be the way to go. That'd be the way to go.
I just need one of them roller chests that I can have in my garage just with Kiko, like all of it on there instead of just buying bits and pieces.
Oh yeah. Well, I think they do have the
I know they do.
the premium system. Yeah. I bet we could get that messy shelf out of there, and that premium system would look real nice.
Yeah.
And I suppose 20% off that, that would make a big kick on something like that.
Extreme.
Just go to Kiko.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Next year for MTE TV, Cliff's Extreme Garage Makeover. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, everybody.
I'll have to move my situation around so Chris can complain about something else I got to fix. This is the cleanest part of my freaking garage. Now I'm upset.
I think there's a way to blur your background. Maybe we'll figure that out.
Put a green screen in there, something. Make it look like I'm in Paris.
Love it. Beautiful. All right. Well, we'll figure that out next time, and we're a week away from MTE, so everybody travel safe, and until then, live your dreams. And I didn't push the button.
Just wanted to thank you for listening to another episode of Dents and Dreams. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, compliments, or complaints, I can be reached at Dent Reaper across social media. And be sure to subscribe to the Dents and Dreams Facebook group and or YouTube channel, because that's where it'll happen if and when we go live. Thanks again.